Hello Gemini, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your November 2022 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Gemini? What do we need to know for you? Let me give it a couple more shuffles. Oh, that card wants to come out. We will take it. So we have the Strength card coming out. When I see Strength, this does represent the sign of Leo. Oh, 3 cards came out. So Strength, the Empress, and the World. I thought it was just one, but it looked like it was a whole stack. So Strength, the Empress, and the World. Okay. So this does represent a very unified, very strong country right here, because the Strength does represent, stability, foundations. The Empress doesn't really represent a person. It represents an idea, kind of like the Garden of Eden. She's sitting on a throne. She's pregnant. There's a wellspring of water. There's luxury all around her. There are like, trees and fruits. She's crowned with the stars. So it does kind of represent a pregnant woman about to give birth in the Garden of Eden. And it can also represent a country because, you're born in a country. We name our countries after, feminine figures. So with this world energy, it does represent, a very strong country on the world. So a very strong place. Something is very unified right here. Maybe you're very unified within your family. Maybe you're traveling. Let's clarify this energy, but it does represent a very strong, stable community. Maybe you have good friends. Maybe you have a good network of, fallback. For example, you have a really good friendship group, a very good family group. But what's going on, Gemini? What do we need to know for you? This can also, in a way, I know that we have 3 really good major arcanas coming out, but this can also represent a disaster as well. You know how 9/11 kind of like unified the world, and not even just unified the world, it unified the country itself. So when we talk about unifying the country, there was a tragedy that was 9/11, and then everyone came together. Everyone kind of put away their religion, their creed, their race, and they all just kind of came together to form a bond. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right here, is that you have the Strength, the Empress, and the World energy coming out. So we have the Empress coming out again. We have the Ten of Swords, yeah. And we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This does represent a disaster about to happen. So when I see the Empress energy, oh my gosh, I wish they just shut the door. Okay. So when I see the Empress energy, the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, this does represent a swift death on a soil right here with this Ten of Pentacles. So I do see some sort of natural disaster occurring. Because you know how I just said that, 9/11 was like how the world, or essentially our country, unified as one. That's what I'm seeing right here. The Empress, there is a country. Ten of Swords, a swift defeat on the Ten of Pentacles, on its like foundation itself. And we have the Strength card right here. The Ten of Pentacles represents building a solid foundation, generational wealth, having, the family, the kids, the gold, the building, that's right there. So it represents a swift defeat and something's falling down. So what's going on with this? What do we need to know? Now, it doesn't have to be, something as devastating as that, but it does kind of represent a tragedy within a situation right here. So a big defeat, a big destruction, but it's fast too. It happens very, very instantaneously. The Ten of Swords is not something that, like I mentioned this in Taurus's reading. Maybe you need to go and watch Taurus's reading. For example, the Ten of Swords is not the villain monologue. All right, you know how the villain always gives a monologue and gives time for the hero to escape? That's not the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is like, I got you, you're dead, that's it. So let's look at this. There is no swift, talking. It's just a swift ending. And the Ten of Swords does, in a way, represent a mental death. It represents, a man who's been stabbed 10 times on the ground, dying or dead. Like, there is no good way to talk about it. It just represents something that is swift, it's over and done. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Strength card coming out, and we have the Seven of Cups. So here's the thing with the Queen of Pentacles and with the Strength energy. It's like you're building a foundation. You're building a solid foundation, but something is built on lies. Something is not true, okay? Something doesn't have the Seven of Cups energy behind it, or something has the Seven of Cups energy behind it. This is like you're building a dream, a pie-in-the-sky dream. The Emperor with the Ten of Cups. So it's something that seems too good to be true. Something is too good to be true right here. And it seems like you're putting something into this foundation, into a lie. The Emperor and the Ten of Cups represents like it's a big lie too. Like it's a very powerful, has a lot of people under the spell. You could be breaking a spell right here. That could be that. Because we have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe you're waking up and realizing that the Ten of Pentacles was the Ten of Cups. Because here's the thing, the Ten of Pentacles does represent, a foundation, monetary wealth, like physical things. The cups represent an emotional well-being, an emotional state. So if you're putting money into something that you think is going to mature and blossom into more money, and it turns out it's just a lie, it's only like there to make you feel happy in that moment. That's what the Ten of Cups is saying right here. You're putting something into a lie, and it's a very grand lie with the Emperor. Why is this happening? The Nine of Swords, you feel anxious, your energy's coming out with the Temperance. I feel like you're jumping the gun right here. When I say jumping the gun, Gemini, I'm talking about like you're doing something before it's ready. You're doing something that ends in a disaster because you're not waiting on divine timing. You're trying to implement your own will into a situation. You're trying to force something to work right here. And by doing so, you screw yourself over because that's not what you're supposed to be given right here. You're thinking, is the angel going to arrive? Is the angel not going to arrive? Well, I feel like this is the right path. I don't think it is. I feel like if something is too good to be true, then that's the ins and outs of it. You have to wait for the angel of temperance to arrive for you. Yeah, the Lovers coming out, another angel. The angel is going to guide you to what you need to be in. You don't need to worry about putting your money, putting your wealth, putting something away into something that doesn't feel right. It's like, it would be like if you went to a bank and you had, say, $100,000. Most banks give you, what, 3 to 5% interest a year? Imagine a bank saying, oh, we can give you 50% interest a year. That's not real. Okay, that's never going to happen. It's like an obvious lie, but you want it to be real. You're like, oh, well, it has all the paperwork behind it. It has, the building. It has the people there. People are working. It's obviously built on the Seven of Cups, which is a lie. All right? Like, there is nothing behind that. You have to wait for the angel to align you to what you need to be. How will Gemini know about the angel alignment? With the Ace of Swords, you'll have the actual clarity with the information. It's your energy, Gemini. You'll have real information coming out. The Star coming out with the King of Swords. Yeah, the King of Swords does verbally align you to what you need to be. Because remember, this is the sword of God. This is the sword that comes out of God's mouth. He's holding it in his hand, right? You will have information basically coming from like a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, something of high authority, because the King of Swords is not someone who is, he's not like a manager at a store. He's not someone who is like a tradesmith person. He's someone who is highly educated, probably has like a doctorate or a PhD. I guess a PhD, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Are they the same thing? But like has a very, very high skill degree, okay? And they know the ins and outs of something. They can connect you and show you the dots right here as to either why something will not work out or what you are supposed to align yourself to. Because the star represents the constellation of your life. It kind of represents how things connect right here. I feel like you're not connecting properly to something. You're not being able to read through the lines. That's what it is. You cannot read through the lines with the Nine of Swords. You think that what is on the page is what it says, but no, you have to read in between the lines, and that's what the King of Swords does, because that's the thing about attorneys. It's kind of like if and when. If and when are kind of like the same thing, right? If you do this versus when you do this. It's kind of like on certain legal documents, if and when can change the entire meaning behind something. Just that one tiny little word changes the entire document. That's what reading between the lines is right there. You might think, it's just the same fucking word. It's not. That's what you're not seeing. It's something minuscule and tiny. Yeah, the Page of Swords coming out is something small because the pages are very small, all right? The King of Swords can find the Page of Swords, can find the information inside of this Nine of Swords right here. That is the actual sword. That's the actual truth behind something. So what is this destruction energy? I kind of feel like maybe you're giving into, a falsity, a false lie right here. It's a swift death if you do so. Like, it's kind of like, you invest in stock and then all of a sudden 10 seconds later it crashes. You put $1 million, you're like, oh, this looks good. And then boom, it's all gone. Like $1 million is gone like that. Like that's what happens in the stock market. All right. People think that, sometimes you have time to pull your money out. You don't. It's instantaneously. If the company goes under, I've seen it happen. It's called like a red flat line or something like that. People will do like live streams of things, watch it go up, and then all of a sudden it just goes red and it flatlines. Like it's going all the way up and then flatline. That means someone has pulled out all the money. Someone has done something like that. It's called a rug pull. I kind of feel like that's the situation right there, but it does feel like there is a disaster about to occur. I don't know. Got 7 of Wands pushing back. Maybe it's not a disaster. Maybe it is just something that could be disastrous for you on like the intellectual level, maybe the intellectual property level, because we have the 10 of Pentacles with the 10 of Swords. That does represent the intellect with the 10 of Swords, because swords do represent intellect. The 10 of Pentacles represent property, intellectual property. Ace of Swords coming out, King of Swords. What is Gemini working on right here? You have the 2 of Wands, you have the 8 of Pentacles, and you have the 8 of Wands. So it feels like you're working to move forward in something. Maybe you're trying to close on a house right here. Maybe you're trying to close on a business deal. Maybe you're trying to I feel like you're working on closing something in a way, closing a deal, sealing a deal. Is that it? Queen of Swords coming out. That's what I feel right here with the Queen of Swords. Like you're speaking something. Like that's what the tarot reader is supposed to say for you. You're closing something. You are working on a document. It's kind of like maybe proofreading. Maybe you need to have someone proofread a paper for you. Queen of Cups. So here's the thing. If you do something on an emotional level, say you write a song or you write a piece of poetry or you write something, have someone look over it with intellect so that way they can get the tenses right. I feel like that's the situation for you, Gemini, is that maybe you did something on an emotional aspect with this 10 of Cups energy, but now you need to actually solidify the situation with a legal document. The 8 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. You need to walk away and balance something out for yourself. So if someone's pressuring you into buying something, into doing something right here, walk away from that situation because the situation will balance out. You'll see something later on down the line. I feel like there's a situation that's coming up that is absolutely devastating for you on a financial level or an intellectual property level on something. If you jump the gun, all right, don't do that. If you walk away from something that seems like, because you have the 7, the 8, we don't have the 9 of Pentacles or the 9 of Cups coming out, but you do have the 7 of Cups, meaning you're investing into a falsity. Immediately saying to walk away from that, something seeming too good to be true with the Emperor and the 10 of Cups, like a big deal. You have the Page of Cups coming out. Yeah, you're going to feel kind of like small and sheepish when you walk away. It's like, well, I mean, I'm walking away from a good opportunity. No, you're not. The situation will balance out. You have 2 pages coming up. And here's the thing. You have the Page of Swords saying that here is the lie being exposed to you, Gemini. You have the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, you'll be glad you held on to everything, held on to your money, held on to your resources. The 6 of Wands coming out. You'll have victory by holding on to stuff right here. You'll have victory by saving. Now, here's the thing. I feel like it could work out for you. Could it work out for Gemini? Could it work out for Gemini? No. 4 of Swords coming out saying to give it a rest. What you need to do is you need to give something a rest right here. What you need to focus on is walking away from a situation, going it back and looking at it for what it is. Maybe hire someone to reread the fine print for you. It's all about fine print, all about fine details. There is something that is wrong. There is something that's very small that you need to read between the lines. You'll walk away. You'll be much happier that you did. You'll feel victorious because you're going to realize something. It's kind of like, when you buy a car, sometimes you have low interest rates, and then sometimes people get, an extremely ridiculous interest rate just so they can get into the car. And they're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. No, you'll never pay off the actual note. You'll just be paying off on the taxes the entire time. You'll be paying the interest off. You might spend $500 a month on that vehicle, right? Like as a payment, but only $20. Yes, sometimes only $20 goes to your actual banknote. The rest is going to the interest rate. So that's what you have to understand right there. 7 of Pentacles. invest it into something that's slow growing. Invest into something that's slow, not something that's fast, not something that seems, ooh, this is beautiful. No, something that has solid results and solid evidence. It's kind of like, you know, people are trying to get investors to build a building, right? And so you're like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. We should build this building. And then they take all your money and they don't ever build the building. Instead, you should go with the investor who already has a building picked out, who's already started, like, this is what I want to do. This is like my plan. This is how I'm going to do it. And then go with the person who has, the solid, not with the person who has just the blueprint, like someone who actually has a building. It's kind of like, going into downtown areas, there are already buildings there, and they reconstruct them to be like lofts and stuff. The buildings are already there. That's kind of what this is. Not, oh, we're going to build this mega million whatever over here. I don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like someone's just going to scam everyone and run away. Fool. Yeah, brand new reset right here. You need to have a brand new reset. You need to just walk away from something, restart something else. In the long run, you're going to realize, I kind of feel like it's a long run situation, but in the long run, you'll be much happier. Five of Pentacles coming out. Five of Pentacles does represent, poverty and lack. I don't feel like you're going to have poverty and lack in the long run because you have victory with the Six of Wands right here. And it might feel like poverty because you're walking away into something new. However, I don't feel like that. You have the Tower coming out. Yeah, poverty with the Tower. The Ace of Wands. Once again, it's like poverty strikes the tower down. The situation is that it is a tower moment waiting to fall. You do have a new opportunity. See, here's the thing with the Fool. Take your wand and walk away. If you are able to walk away from a situation right now, all right, and the situation seems so good to be true, you might feel like you're impoverished walking away. You might feel like you're in this Page mentality with this Page of Swords. I do feel like, though, you get a new reset. The Tower and the Five of Pentacles is here to knock the tower down with everything inside of it. You have a new beginning from that. You have a new beginning with the Tower falling down. Let me pull a few more cards from this. So if you walk away, you have victory, but it also said that you had the Five of Pentacles coming out. What is that? Let's look at that. The Three of Swords with the Knight of Wands. Walking away brings heartbreak. Moving forward into a new situation, you'll feel heartbroken about it, but you'll be moving forward faster. The Ace of Cups coming out, representing that you'll have more emotional abundance somewhere else. Walking away from the Ace of Cups is kind of difficult. Okay, so here's the thing. The Knight of Wands has taken his wand. He's running towards heartbreak. He's running from the Ace of Cups right here. The Ace of Cups is not actually real with this Ten of Cups, though. I feel, okay, if something is purely based off of emotion, that's a problem. If it doesn't have any tangible evidence behind it, Gemini, if it doesn't have money, if it doesn't have resources, if it doesn't have a plan, if it doesn't have, an actual, like, reviews, if it's not established, don't go after it. For example, you could have that brand new bank open up offering people 50% interest, but is it established? Does it have reviews? Is it only in this one location? Like, I feel like you would just do better off going into something that is more stable and structured with the Seven of Pentacles, okay? I just feel like that's what you need to do. Trust stable and structure right here. Don't trust new and fancy. The Chariot, yeah, that's the victory right there. That is the Six of Wands and the Chariot are very, very close to one another, okay? That will give you the victory. That will allow you to rise up from the situation with the Fool. Yeah, it might feel like you walked away from a really good opportunity, whether it's in love, career, finance, whatever. But if it seems too good to be true, you're going to witness in real time that it fell apart. And you're going to think, well, I'm running to a new opportunity. I have heartbreak ahead of me because, like, I'm not taking it. I see other people having fun, but the tower does fall because it's built on lies. All right? It is not real. You need to get the facts of a situation. The facts are there is a flaw with the Page of Swords that can be illuminated by the King of Swords. The King of Swords could be your parent. If you're about to sign a lease, if you're about to sign something, if you're about to do anything like that, get someone who knows what they're thinking, what they're talking about before you do anything, okay? The Devil. Otherwise, you'll be chained to the Devil right here. The devil does represent addictions, bondage, being chained, being underneath the devil. You're stuck with something. You are stuck to something. Okay? Because it's kind of like if you buy that car and you don't understand interest rates, if you don't understand having to. Here's another thing. When you buy a car, you have to have full insurance when you walk off the lot. A lot of people don't know that. When they're buying their first car, they don't understand that. And so you have to have full coverage insurance. Well, that's an extra expense that maybe you didn't calculate into your your expenses right there. You just didn't calculate that you would need full coverage. Maybe you already have a car that has regular insurance. No, you have to have full coverage for a certain amount of time. Here's the thing though. Most people don't calculate that in, especially when they're young. And so therefore, when they've already done the processing, they're like, so what insurance do you want us to switch you over to? Your insurance is about to go up $170. Most people are like, well, I don't really know. And they say, oh, well, it's only for 6 months. Well, if you're only paying $50, then all of a sudden your insurance is now $175 or whatever. Like, that's the situation right there. It's like, it's got you cornered, all right? It's okay to just walk up and leave. Like, you're not going to hurt anyone's feelings. That's what a lot of people need to understand. If something does not feel right, just get up and walk away. Just get up and walk away. Oh, that doesn't sound good to me. I didn't know I needed to have that. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks so much for your time. Bye. That, as simple as that. And they might beg and plead, no, please, here's the 10 of cups. Here's this, here's that. It's a pie in the sky dream. It is. Like, their only goal is to get you in a vehicle to say that they made a sale. They don't give a fuck about you after that. All right? Understand that. People in sales and companies and business and all that other stuff, they feel like it has to do with wealth. Maybe you have a good nest egg saved up. And, they're saying, well, if you do this, you're not factoring something in, though. It's something small, like that insurance. Most people know what they're going to pay per month, but, I know I give that analogy a lot, but when it comes up, it comes up. Like, that's the situation right here. There's a better situation for you somewhere else. Maybe you could get it cheaper. Maybe, if you work on your credit or work on a situation, maybe you already have the credit. It's just that you didn't factor in something, okay? So maybe going with a cheaper model, whatever it is. That could be the 5 of Pentacles as well as that. Maybe you have to go with a cheaper model. But I've also seen the higher grade models get recalled and the cheaper models actually did better. So, like, it's just a warning. Like, you have free will. You can do what you want. Once again, I'm not trying to tell you how to make your career goals, how to do anything. But if something just seems bullshit, just understand that it is. All right? And you don't have to worry about walking away and feeling like you're the jerk in a situation. You're not the jerk. People purposely hide stuff so that way you feel guilty. It's like you've already been through this situation. You've already been sitting here for 5 hours trying to buy a car. You're already tired. You're already annoyed. Like, people just say, oh, yeah, just go ahead and do it. Boundaries. Have boundaries. Yeah, put your boundaries up. Oh, that, I didn't factor that in. Thanks so much. I can't do it. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Beauty. Focus on your beauty right here. Focus on yourself. Focus on, the beautification process of you. Maybe that's what you need. You can rise above the devil, okay? It's kind of like, here's the thing. You have to understand this about the Chariot and the devil. Remember, tarot is extremely biblical. In the final days, the 2 prophets will come down and they will be able to smite the world with all kinds of afflictions, diseases, any types of maladies that they want. Then eventually the devil will come and kill them, right? And they will lay dead in the streets for 3 days and people will chant their names and be glad that they're dead. They will praise them. They'll kick their bodies. They'll, do whatever. And they'll praise the devil because he killed the 2 prophets who were causing calamities on the world. But after 3 days, they wake up in the presence of their enemies. It says that their enemies will have a clear view in the Bible. The enemies will see this happen, right? They will wake up and then they will ascend in the chariot. So that's what you have to understand about the situation. It's like, there's a big deal right here. The chariot and the devil coming out like that in tandem, that has a very big, significant meaning in Revelation. You have invisibility, authenticity, brand brack, sweetness, and synergy. Here's the thing. Be invisible right now. That's the only way to truly be authentic to yourself and to other people. When I say be invisible, listen, that's all invisibility is. Like, you can be in a room, but listen to people, and you'll hear their authentic selves. You'll hear what people have to say, you know, behind your back, behind other people's backs. Maybe that's what you're trying to figure out. Who is this person? Does this person really have the best interest for other people? Is this person, you know, a jerk? With the Brambrack sweetness and synergy, what you need to understand right here is that there's a cake, there are things baked into this cake, and whatever piece you get, that's supposed to dictate your year. Sometimes people get, you know, bad omens, and sometimes people get really good omens. Sometimes, Gemini, you just get a really bad omen for the year. But that's all you have to understand, is that it's for a year. It's not meant to last forever. It's just meant to kind of like put you a couple, you know, paces back, because that's the temperance energy. The temperance energy is divine alchemy, divine alignment, moving you forward, moving you back, so that way you can like divinely align to where you're supposed to be, meet the right person, have the right family at the right time. All right. So let's look at your, what are these? Witch's Familiar cards. We have Caution, Moth. Yeah, once again, it's all about caution. We have Goat, Potency. So what I'm seeing right here with this Goat Potency energy is that there is something is very like sexual right here. Something is very charismatic. I kind of feel like with the Emperor and the Ten of Cups, the Emperor is a very attractive man. You have to understand that he's generally older, but he's very muscular. He's like got that older man masculine energy, with the Ten of Cups being very, very sexual, because the Ten of Cups does represent the female genitals. It's Piscean energy, feminine energy. So Aries with the, what's it called? Aries with the Emperor, Pisces with the Ten of Cups. You're dealing with a pie-in-the-sky dream, something that seems beautiful up front, but ultimately it's fairly sinister, because what you have to understand about the Emperor is that he also has goat horns on, so, or ram horns. So have caution about this figure within your life, and it doesn't have to be a person, because once again, the Emperor is not a person. It represents an idea or an ideology. So a very attractive, very strong, very structured, strict, organized, beautiful situation is about to pop up, but it looks like it's built on lies. You have Sawilu, strength, success in all ventures, good health, and speedy recovery. You will recover from this situation. Just be aware of it happening. And this is just a warning message. That's it. It's just a warning for you. It's not to dictate your life. You have free will. I'm not giving you financial, career, whatever. You can do what you want. Just be, you know, skeptical. Like, show me the Carfax kind of thing. Tehwaz, authority, justice, passion, drive, victory, the greater good, and righteousness. Now let me get you a couple of Awakened Oracle cards. We have Mystery and Ground. So I kind of feel like something is buried deep. That's what it is. It's buried deep. You don't see it. Someone does see it, though. All right? It's just something that's like, you know, you've already dug yourself into that hole, getting all the way through the deal process to get the car, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, you have to get full coverage, or oh, by the way, you have to pay for this feature, or do you want to upgrade for that? Like, it's something that it's like last second, you've already done all this hard work, you already dug the ditch, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, what is it? No, I'm not doing that. Like, even if you've dug the ditch all the way down, don't feel ashamed of it. Even if you put in all this hard work and time, and then there's a situation that comes up 5-10 hours into whatever this is, and something seems too good to be true, you like, show me the Carfax, you're like, no, we can't do that. Or you hire someone with higher authority comes and speaks to you and says, you know, that doesn't seem like a good idea, here's why, X, Y, and Z. Just walk away. That's all it is. I know it hurts, I know that it's hard, I know you want to sit there and play with it in your mind because you're Gemini and you want to bounce information back and forth, but it is what it is. When the King of Swords, Aquarius, comes out, when fixed air energy comes out and says, this is it, you need to listen. Okay, Gemini? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.